So, Mr. Secretary, I want to talk about another area that's under your jurisdiction. It's the census. It was halted prematurely. You were not happy about it. Roughly how many people do you suspect were not counted that were eligible? And are you worried that Massachusetts will pay a harsh penalty?
I'm concerned because I'm concerned about an inaccurate count. We've always been a challenging place to count because of the number of non-native born persons we have, as well as some of the urban areas that are very difficult to count, and the number of college students. It's not so much persons, it's hard for me to say that because I don't know. I was not given that type of detailed information. What I know is that the materials coming out of the Census Bureau as it raced to try to finish this and justify that just were not credible. They were claiming that 99.9% of the households in Massachusetts were contacted. That's simply not true. We knew going into the last few days we were still trying to reach into buildings that had not been counted. We know from some of the federal workers, the temporary federal workers who were working on the follow-up to the census, the door-to-door effort, that they were being given assignments that were repetitive, that they were being told to speak to only one person, take secondary information. It was a very shoddy process, deliberately so for a political reason, not because they wanted accuracy, because they wanted it over.
So would you dare say that we're missing as much as 5 or 10% of the people that should be?
I'd be speculating. Let me tell you what I am doing. We are preparing a detailed analysis of our census figures, what we have in our database of who lives where. We're preparing that. We're going to deliver it to the government. We already have delivered to them or obtained for them information from colleges, for instance, of where students were back in the spring. We're going to put together quite an army of secondary information and insist that they look at it. They themselves have an estimate of 6.8 million. That's the Census Bureau estimate. Obviously, when the number comes out, we're going to have to measure it by that and what we have as well.
And are you fearful that Massachusetts is going to suffer some consequence as a result of all this?
Of course. I mean, that's the whole purpose of this, is an accurate count. There is no excuse for not having an accurate count. There is none. I mean, it was a very difficult year, but if you were interrupted because of COVID, then you take the time to make up the difference. They did the opposite. They were interrupted because of COVID, and they decided to speed it up at the end because they want to finish it before the end of the year. That makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, but that's a fair point, because how do you get an accurate count in this world of COVID? Because you talked about the college students that spend all the time here. They weren't spending that much time here in the last...
Well, but we have records. We have records from the universities kept in the ordinary course of business of people where they live, the off-campus students. We want to use those. We've already presented them to the Bureau. We have other records, and we were working actively at the time the census was ceased to try to reach out to some of the more difficult communities with local governments, with local groups. And we're not alone. I mean, these are other parts of the country too. And indeed, the irony of this situation is there are some states that traditionally would have voted Republican, like Montana or Louisiana, that are just perhaps worse off than we are. I mean, this was a debacle. There's no other way to describe it. It was politicized from the beginning. Wilbur Ross has absolutely no business running anything, and certainly not the U.S. Census.
So before we go, there were long lines on primary night. Do you suspect there'll be long lines on election night, general election night Tuesday?
To vote?
To vote.
Yeah, I think there will be. I mean, I think there's going to, when I say long lines, I think many people have already voted, and that's great. It's going to reduce the pressure, but this is an extremely important election. I think everyone knows it. I think there's a commitment on the part of our citizens and citizens across the country to vote in this. We're going to do everything we can. The polls are open for 13 hours. I've instructed local officials to create as much space as possible, give people as much space as possible. We've tried to simplify the process as best we can. It will be safe to vote. It will be safe to vote, and I want to make sure people are comfortable doing it.
Yes or no? Do you think Tuesday night we will know winners and losers? I'll go from president all the way down to every congressional.
Well, if you're asking president in Massachusetts, probably.
Yeah.
Congressional districts, probably.
Yeah.
Local races, it could be closer. Ballot question could be. Nationally, it's hard to say. I mean, you can look. What you can do is you can look at how Clinton, for instance, did 4 years ago, how Trump did 4 years ago, and how they're doing tonight or that night, and that way you'd be able to see whether there were shifts or changes. That will give you some clue. But I go back to what I've said a couple of times already, that this has been an overwhelming turnout. If there's a single story that's already apparent about this election, it's the turnout. And that is very telling, because usually when there's a big turnout, it means a big change.
And as I recall, you say that you'll be voting on Tuesday. You like to go and check things out yourself?
Yes, I'll be voting on Tuesday.
So you are not an early voter?
No.
Mr. Secretary, thanks for your time. Greatly appreciated.